Welcome back everyone to Showbiz India, and today with me I have the very lovely Anjali World, who's here in Los Angeles in Studio City. This is one of the studios you record in. It's really amazing. So Anjali, welcome to Showbiz India. Tell us, first of all, let's rewind back. When did you find your love for music? How far back?
Well, let's see. So I started singing. Really, I've been singing my whole life, you know, for fun. And my mom, she sang and she played like 3 or 4 instruments. So I kind of grew up in a very musical household, and I was really passionate about poetry. So I kind of, you know, transitioned with that and started writing a lot of songs. And once I graduated from college, UC Berkeley, I actually ended up pursuing music fully.
You come from a background that's multifaceted and multicultural. Your father is from India and your mother is from America, correct? Yes. Mm-hmm. How was that growing up?
Well, it was, you know, it was really different just because I got such different cultures. I got to grow up with such a diverse background, and I think it really helped me in my music and just in my growing as a child in general, because I almost got the best of both worlds, and I think it's definitely influenced my artistry and my music a lot, being able to kind of dip and delve into the Bollywood as well as Hollywood, you know? And I just feel like I was really blessed to be able to have both backgrounds, for sure. My first single that I released this year, it's called We Turn Up. It actually has a very Bollywood-esque beat, and me and my producer, we did that on purpose because I really wanted to, you know, have my heritage and my culture in my music, especially in the first song I released, just so I could kind of say to the world, you know, I'm American, but I come from, you know, a partially Indian background. And I just thought that was really, really important, especially since there's very few artists, you know, from America who are actually Indian and who make very international music. And that's kind of been my goal, just to have the most influence and the biggest platform, really.
I just love the fact that you embrace the Indian side in you. And speaking of Indian, you made history. You were at the momentous occasion in Madison Square Gardens when Narendra Modi was there, and you sang the national anthem. Tell me that feeling.
It was unbelievable. I can't even begin to describe it. It was the Super Bowl times, the NBA Finals times, the Michael Jackson concert, like the times 100. Like, it was insane. Just the energy and the atmosphere was, I've never felt anything like that before. You could just tell how ecstatic the people were and how much it meant to them for him to be there. So it was such an honor to be able to be there, and just on top of that represent, you know, not only Indians but Indian Americans.
Tell me about your music video. Where did the concept come from?
Well, it's, you know, as I said, the beat was very Bollywood influenced, so I wanted to make sure I incorporated that influence in the video as well. So it actually came from the idea of representing Holi, because it was around the time of Holi. And it's kind of interesting because the whole, you know, there's a bunch of events like the Color Run and all these things that it's all these little festivals that are international now, and I think a lot of people don't realize it actually stemmed from Holi. So it was kind of a perfect combination of, you know, of Indian and American again, because regular people just recognize it as that, and Indians know, you know, that's Holi. So we made sure to incorporate that, and it was really fun, very colorful. And just, it was very full of life. And we also had an elephant, an Asian elephant, and a monkey in the video as well. And I did that because I have a nonprofit organization for endangered species. So they were both rescues, and we were doing some elephant conservation at the time. So it kind of all had, you know, a specific purpose.
Well, I'm very impressed. You're so young, beautiful, and you have time for nonprofit. You and I share love for animals.
I do. Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how did you get involved in saving animals?
I definitely think it stemmed from my mother. We basically had a mini farm growing up. I mean, we had every animal you could possibly imagine. So that's where that love came from. And then growing up, I would work at, you know, aquariums and animal rescues in different places, and I would scuba dive a lot, and I always had my hand in some sort of conservation. So when I got to school, I ended up studying marine science and conservation. But yeah, I've definitely had some interesting stories involving, you know, an 18-foot tiger shark, involving rescuing my dog, just like you rescued your dog. I've had some crazy stories, saving baby deers and baby possums.
And it's true that you have your proceeds from your music go to your nonprofit?
Yeah, they do. All the proceeds actually go to my nonprofit. So yeah, it's just, I think it's really important to have a higher purpose in whatever you do, you know? So that's kind of, I always felt like that was my calling, just animals and conservation, so.
That is fantastic. And Anjali, your father is quite a trailblazer himself.
Yes.
He is the first man of Indian origin to own an NBA team.
Yes.
How does that make you feel when you look up to Daddy?
You know, it's really funny because, well, I've always idolized him. He's the smartest person I've ever met, and he's just always inspired me to never give up and to work hard. And it's funny because he coached my basketball team when I was a little girl, even though he had never played basketball before. And I think I was in 7th grade, and it was such an experience, but he ended up using math equations to literally figure out, you know, things like full court press and how that translates into points, and he literally just figured it all out in his head, even though he'd never played basketball before, and we ended up winning the national championship.
So obviously he is multi-talented, but if there's one thing you've taken away from him and imbibed from him, what would you say that is?
I would say it's definitely he always told us, like, every morning when we woke up, never give up. And I think that's pretty much what I've taken the most out of everything, just because he is literally the hardest working person also that I've ever met. So I feel like in everything I do, whether it was sports when I was younger or school or now music, I definitely have taken that motto with me.
So can we request you to sing a line of your favorite song?
Let's see. Sure. This is one of my favorite songs by Lauryn Hill. I don't know if you... Yeah, she really inspired me growing up, just because she was a poet, you know, as well as a singer and songwriter, which is something that I really want to aspire to be. So, okay, it's called Sweetest Thing. Sweetest thing I've ever known was like a kiss on the collarbone, soft caress of happiness, the way you walk, your style of dress. I wish I didn't get so weak. Ooh, baby, just to hear you speak makes me argue just to see how much you're in love with me.
What a beautiful voice. Fantastic.
Thank you.
It was so great meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.